talk. Rich social worker was not my original idea. I actually had so many ideas and I was frustrated because I did not know what to do. And now that I have Rich Social Worker, I talk to so many people who are in the same predicament that I was in many years ago. And the term for this is being a multi-passionate person or a multi-passionate creative, or in this case, you might consider yourself a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And if you don't have a way to figure out the thing that you want to do because you want to do so many things, it can be really frustrating and you end up feeling like a failure even before you get started. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what my process was a little bit to kind of get clear on my path and give you some tools and strategies that you can use as well so that you can get clear and get started to living your rich life. But first, before we get started, you know what to do. Click that like button. Here we go.
Hi, and welcome back to Rich Social Worker. I'm Eva Ford, social worker, mindset mentor, and coach. And on this channel, we talk all about money, mindset, and motivation to help you live your richest life. And so if making a bigger impact while making a bigger income are things that you would like, then consider subscribing and turn on the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video, which is every week. If you're someone who considers themselves multi-passionate, either a multi-passionate creator or a multi-passionate entrepreneur, it's just a term that's used to describe someone with lots of skills and interests in many different areas. And the challenge with that is that sometimes it's hard to figure out what we want to do in life, or maybe what path to follow or what direction to go in. And that can become overwhelming and immobilizing if left unchecked for too long. And so being a multi-passionate entrepreneur sometimes comes with a lot of stress and anxiety and frustration because you want to get started, but you're not really sure what to do. And I heard this term initially from blogger and speaker Marie Forleo. And one of the things that she said was that, this term being multi-passionate, it came to her. And once she had this term, she was able to kind of identify what was going on and start to celebrate her belonging. And that's something that we all need, right? Belonging, Maslow's hierarchy needs, you remember. And so this term is a term to be celebrated, not something to be, to feel bad about because you do have so many interests and passions. But if you do find yourself somewhere on this spectrum of maybe being interested in so many things and having lots of skills and having the ability to do so many things, I want you to stop beating up on yourself if that's what you've been doing, and I want you to celebrate you, because that means that there are more opportunities for you to make an impact and for you to increase your income. And so this is where we've got to start. We've got to start with our thinking. We've got to redefine what we think about this and how we feel about it so that we can then move on to step number 2. Because here's the truth. We do need to get clear and we do need to make some decisions if we are going to live this rich life that we talk about on this channel. And so what I want you to do is I want you to get a pen and paper, or you can type on your computer if you need to, but I want you to kind of do a brain dump of all of the things that you are interested in and all the directions that you feel like you might be being pulled in. And once you've done this brain dump, and I really want you to spend some time on this, don't just write down the first 3 things. I want you to get everything out of your system. It may take 10 minutes, it may take a half hour. Get everything out of your system. And what this does is it really allows you to kind of externalize what your options are and to see in front of you what could work and what couldn't. Now that you have your list externalized, you're going to do something for me. And what that is you're going to look and see where your opportunity lies to make the most money in the shortest amount of time. And the reason we want to focus on the money first is because money is like water and we need it to live. Money is the thing that gives life to your business and to your activities and to everything that you do. So let me be clear. We're not saying that we only care about money. We're saying we want to maximize our opportunities in the future. And so to start, we want to start with a thing that is the most lucrative right now to fuel our engines, to get us going, and to finance our interests so that we can make the impact that we want. I wish somebody had told me this when I was starting out, because I didn't focus on the money, and it took me a long time of getting in debt and not having any money to the point where I didn't even have food sometimes. I don't want you to end up in that situation. I doubt you'll be as bad off as I was. I was really bad. But I want you to get as critical as you can with your list and identify those opportunities for money making as quickly as possible and as large as possible. Because again, the faster you can earn and the more money that you can earn in the shortest amount of time, that's going to fuel your dreams even faster and allow you to help even more people. Now, here's where we're going to get ruthless, and we're going to ask ourselves the focusing question. Now, the focusing question is a question that I learned from a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Now, if you have not read The One Thing, I highly recommend you check it out. It's a great philosophy and system for making decisions and essentially for living life and just being super efficient in different areas of your life. And the focusing question that these authors pose is this: what is the one thing that by so doing makes everything else easy or unnecessary? Now, what this focusing question does is it helps you to really hone in on the activities that are going to yield the biggest results for you. So you want to ask this question on a macro and a micro level. So on the macro level, I want you to look at that list and identify which one, what is the one activity, what is the one focus that by so doing, by so focusing on, by so putting your energy and effort into, makes everything else easy or unnecessary. And then once you've chosen that one thing, you're going to ask the question again on the micro level. It might be that you make a phone call. It might be that you have a meeting. It might be that you sign up for a subscription or you cancel a subscription. I'm not sure, but I'm always available to flesh this out with you in my free 15-minute business clarity call. I'll put all of the information below. Now, as you're making this decision, here are some things to keep in mind. Number one, this is just the decision for you to start with. We're not saying that this is going to be the decision forever and ever and ever, amen. But you owe each one of your interests the respect to give it focus for at least a long enough period of time to see if it can be successful and to see if you can make traction on it and to make traction on it, okay? And the other thing to keep in mind is that you can go further faster when you're focused, when you're putting all of your energy, all your attention, and all of your effort into one thing, as opposed to spreading it out across several different things. It takes up a lot more time for us to shift between one thing and another. And so we get to where we want to go faster when we're focused, when we're going in a straight direction, and when we're invested. And the last thing I would say to keep in mind is the term yes and. Now, this is a term that's used a lot in corporate settings when they're brainstorming and they're trying to be creative and come up with ideas. So instead of shutting down ideas, then they'll say yes to an idea and then come up with another idea. And so it keeps the creative juices flowing. And so I want you to implore that as well. Yes and. So yes, you're going to focus on this one thing right now, and you can always come back to your list. You can always pursue your other interests, either dabble here and there or further down the line. But we're just going to start with something right now and we'll get back to it in the future. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you a multi-passionate person who maybe has had a hard time just narrowing down on the thing that you want to start with or grow with? Or has something else come up for you in this video? I really want to hear it in the comments. And if you're a person who's multi-passionate, but who has overcome and who has figured out how to focus in on your one thing, at least to start out, let us know in the comments. I'm sure there's people that would love to hear and love to get the help as well. Thanks so much for being here. I believe you can dream, be, do, or have anything you want, but it starts with your mindset. So make sure it's a rich one. I'll see you in the next video.